What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be reviewing all of the Iron Banner weapons and talking about if any of them are worth it, and if you already hate Iron Banner, is any of them worth your time? So this video will be mostly focused on PvP, but I will go over some of the PvE weapons like the sidearm, but I'll just touch up on them real quick when I get to them. So first, starting off with a Lethal Abundance. No. Alright. Race Walker. A lot of people used to love this shotgun. There really wasn't like any other options back then. But now, I mean, it's kind of just been power crept and lightweights aren't in a very good spot right now. If one happens to drop with a good roll, like Iron Reach. Yeah, pretty much if you get like a good Iron Reach roll, you never know if Bungie does some random buff where this becomes the best shotgun in the game. So, yeah, if you get a good Iron Reach roll, just throw that in the vault. Multi-Mach, one of the best SMGs in the game, PvE and PvP both. There's a lot of good rolls on this thing, so there's a lot of good perks here. If you like max range is 90 on this thing, 22 meters. Personally, I'm more of a fan of Target Lock and Rangefinder because it's basically the pre-nerf Multi-Mach if you throw on the zoom mod. Moving target, tap is also insane. Kill clip, look at this, 0.6 time to kill. If you have some builds for Frenzy, I mean, just look at this, like, there's a bunch of good perks here. PvE, the Gunsmith handed out a god roll. So, Tusk of the Boar. I feel like these Waveframe GLs got power crept, and I think they got nerfed a little bit. Don't use this in Crucible, but for PvE, it's not a bad thing to have. Criminal's Dagger, one of the best 120s in the game. Yes, this thing is worth farming for. There's a lot of good options here. I'm still a big fan of Precision Instrument, but basically just take a good look at the rolls and see what your god roll is. I will recommend Slideways. I do feel like this is the best here. This perk is insane. You just keep re-procking the buff now, so you can just keep this up for the whole game if you slide enough. It doesn't show it on the side of your screen when it's up anymore, it is bugged. So just keep that in mind, but the buff is still there. And then Adagio, this 2 taps. Yeah, Adagio, this 2 taps, 0.6 time to kill clip. I don't know if this is updated. 0.5 time to kill. I think explosive payload's still broken, right? Don't think the nerf did anything. Some people like Zen. I mean, I'm just covering perks at this point. Just see what perks you want and then go for them. Claws of the Wolf. I had a god roll this and I hated it. This thing just doesn't have enough range to compete with literally anything. It's a fun weapon to use, especially if you get that kill clip going. So at close range, you know, sidearms, SMGs, they're going to destroy this. At medium range, you're getting damage fall off of this thing because Bungie thinks these things are so broken that they can't let any stat be over 40. If you really want that Headseeker kill clip roll, or you just enjoy this weapon, you know, it's a fun weapon, then, I mean, you could grind for it, but personally, I don't think this gun is very good. But I just don't think it's as good as people made it out to be. Dude, like, this should be the steady hand right here, but Bungie decided we need another machine gun. So, even if you're a PvP player, you hate playing PvE, I still recommend getting this sidearm. And these sidearms made PvE really enjoyable for me. I then slapped on, oh, sorry, not this build. I then slapped on a build like this, and I was actually having a blast playing PvE. The Caliban threaded spike roll, this is super fun. Again, I don't really know much about like the PvE meta and stuff, but that build right there I had a ton of fun with. Now let's go into the legacy stuff. I don't really have much words for this. I feel like everyone already kind of has their own thoughts on this. The Peace Bond, the Ren Striver combo still will always be one of my favorites. This sidearm's still pretty good, to be honest. The thing is, Sanuna is just better than it now, but if you don't have a good Sanuna, and out of all of the weapons on this list you don't care about, or you already have a good roll of, I mean, going for a good Peace Bond isn't the worst option. And you could do some build crafting with backers to make this always have a 0.5 time to kill, or if you have like a Radiant build. It has a 0.5 time to kill on its own if someone's resilience is under 4, so that is something to note. Once again, another thing that if you have like any way to get a damage buff, like Radiant for example, this will be a 0.6 time to kill. Yeah, that's a 180, alright. Yeah, I don't even have much to say. This thing might be good for Crota. Even how many times they buff these things, they still suck. I don't recommend using them, but they're definitely in the game. Wizened Rebuke, if you don't have a good Glacial Chasm, a strong fusion you could go for. This gets Iron Grip, and I think under pressure iron grip is the role you want. Yeah, I mean, going for this thing wouldn't be a bad idea. This thing is good, especially when Perks 2F uses it. Yeah, this used to be my favorite sidearm in the linear meta. I used to say this is one of the best sidearms in the game. I still think it's good, but I feel like there's more of these sidearms out now with a role you might like more. I still think it's a good sidearm. Yeah, I feel like there's other options now, and this gun's kind of been power crept. The Defizzle launcher. One of my friends told someone they gotta stop messing with the Fizzle. They're poking a sleeping bear. And then I remembered this rocket launcher. So when you poke the Fizzle enough, then the roar of the bear is gonna happen. Legend has it, the Fizzle crafted this rocket launcher himself. I think this thing also got power crept, and I don't recommend focusing it. Anyway, so I'm not focusing that. Moving target opening shot. If it wasn't so rare to get a perfect roll of this, then I'm sure more people would use this. If you have a good Inquisitor already, you're not going to be using this slug. If you don't have a good Inquisitor, then you probably will be using this slug. So, if you don't have a good Inquisitor, you can go focus one. If you don't want to go focus a good Inquisitor, and you want this slug instead, that's perfectly fine. This thing is probably the most meta thing on this list, to be honest. This gets moving target opening shot. It definitely is a good shotgun, and like I said, you know, if more people had like a perfect roll of this, I'm sure more people would use it. You know, if you're using like a primary pulse like Relentless or something, you're probably going to be pairing it with the slug, so, you know, you could use Relentless, Ganora's Axe. This actually is like a meta shotgun. Yeah, this is like a meta slug, and it definitely is like, I'd probably say like top 5 best slugs in the game. This and Criminals are like the 2 meta things on this list. The thing is, like, if you already have a good Inquisitor, you probably aren't going to go for this. So, like, the steady hand could be here, but we want 2 390 solar pulse rifles. Alright. Bite of the Fox, firmly planted opening shot. I mean, the thing this sniper used to do good, Bungie just put on every other sniper, and that'd be like firmly opening shot, moving target opening shot. This used to be the best grenade launcher in the game. This did used to be the best grenade launcher in the game, because you could use it with tractor cannon for PvE. Yeah, I don't know if this thing's good anymore. I think it's probably been power crept. Yeah, I tried using this fusion. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of sucks. So I feel like if you really think about it, you'll probably know my opinion on bows. This gun was so bad, I used to make fun of it and use this as a meme weapon back in the non-flawless pool. What guns would I go out of my way to get? Let's say I hate playing Iron Banner. Is it worth loading up the game to get any of these weapons as a PvP player? And let's also say I don't have any god rolls of these things. Yeah, let's also add in like a meta thing. I would grind for the Criminals. Now, the second I get the Criminals, when I say the second I get the Criminals, I mean when I get the perfect roll Criminals that I'm happy with. This is a hard decision. Would I keep playing for the Ganora's Axe? I would use my leftover iron engrams on the Ganora's Axe if I had a lot of them. I think I'd probably just go down and get the Inquisitor. But you know what? I got 3 engrams right now. Let's open a Ganora's, just because.
As guardians, our battle never ends. May this aid you.
Hey, I mean, hey, if this was opening shot, ricochet rounds are accurized, I don't know what you get here. And then like a decent masterwork, like a handling one. Hey, I mean, I still wouldn't use it over Inquisitor, but it would be a good roll. We also gotta change the barrel up a little bit. So anyway, that's my thoughts on all of the Iron Banner weapons. Just a quick little recap. Criminals is honestly the only thing worth here farming for. Multi-mock is fun. If the SMG meta ever comes back, then you might be farming for a multi-mock. Hope this was helpful. Comment below if there's like a certain gun or certain build you want me to review.